Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the CDL podcast channel. In this episode today, we're going to be talking about the tournament. We're a day late, had some stuff come up yesterday, but I can't believe it's November 25th, and we're talking about a tournament already, and actually a pretty eventful tournament. If you guys enjoy this one, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. If you're on the audio platforms, drop a follow, drop a 5-star review. We're going to do that today, spend some time on that, talk about some of the season one news, season two news, overall game news. There's a lot of stuff going on in the game, which is nice to see. And then we're going to do a map tier list. Had a little bit more time on all the maps, more than last week when we just had, that initial weekend to play. We got a little more time a week, and we've even played some eights with our friends. We've gotten some looks at some of the competitive maps. We kind of know. I have a feeling like I have a pretty good grasp on what I think of all the maps now. So yeah, we're gonna go over that. But we're gonna start with the tournament. I watched as much of the tournament as I possibly could. It was a little bit of a busy weekend for me, and that Saturday was insane. They just packed like a million matches, and it was really tough because like I was trying to go back and forth between like stream POVs and like the main broadcast where they're broadcasting it, and like I literally couldn't watch the Thieves versus Bush. I couldn't watch that series. It was like nowhere to be found. Nobody on Thieves was streaming. Nobody on Bush was streaming. The mainstream wasn't
That's
showing it.
crazy.
And then eventually they showed the game five, and it was in like 180p. It was the most grainy stream. Somebody was like, it was like back in the day when you wanted to watch like a side station match, and they had somebody was like Periscope recording it on their phone and streaming it to Twitter off data. It
Yeah.
was like you couldn't even see what was going on. I basically could see somebody on one team killed somebody on the other team, but I had no idea what happened. Um, but we had some interesting results. I think we need to talk about first the one that Brock wants to talk about. Uh, Falcons, they finished last, but they were eliminated by Team War, aka Next Threat, aka Doug Sensor Martin.
Douglas.
Doug got a
The
win, his
GOAT.
first win against a pro team since 2018. I saw at Champs.
That's crazy.
Longevity.
That is fact. Douglas is back, running streets.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's actually like playing this year. He was like, "Yeah, I missed
Is
it,"
he
and
actually?
I think because he's like starting up Next Threat again. Remember, Next Threat was like an OG team. He played for them when he was a player, like
Yep.
way back, like BO1 days.
Mhm.
Scump, Hecz, Proofy, a lot of legendary players. Shout out to Bobby, Scump's duo. They all played on Next Threat. That's where Scump won his first event with Hecz. So just kind of a
Yep.
funny lore for newer
That
people in
is
the
true.
COD scene. He won his first event there with Hecz and BO1, but I think Doug's playing. If this is his team, I don't know how Doug found his way into the team. I don't know how much he paid these players, but
Paying bag, bro.
he is Standy. Was it Standy, Johnny, and why am I blanking on their fourth?
uh, dang,
Uh,
Johnny.
Diamond Con,
Oh yeah,
which
pretty good players.
I mean, Diamond Con, multiple stints in the pro league. For challengers, he's a top tier player. Johnny, obviously, same thing. Multiple stints in the pro league, a top tier player. And Standy,
Mhm.
he's won an event in the pro league,
Hmm.
and like a guy that again, like
Yeah.
these three guys are guys that you look at and you know when they're on a challengers roster, that roster's probably gonna be pretty good. Like
Yeah.
they're guys that constantly are like the first call ups into the league.
Yep.
So that's like I don't know how Doug found his way into that team, but I guess the story that we really probably should talk about is the Falcons. And I when we're going through all these teams, I kind of just want to know like, has your outlook changed on the teams? I guess for me, I don't. I will take some consideration into what happened this weekend. It was an online tournament. Teams have barely scrimmed because the game had been out for a week when they were playing. So like, I'm gonna grain of salt this. Like,
Mhm.
I may slightly change my opinion on some teams. I think, but like at the end of the day, like seeing Cloud9 and G2 make a run to top four and top three respectively is like not gonna make me think that Cloud9 is a top three team or top four team. Like I'm not
Yeah.
gonna overreact. And same thing for Falcons. I wasn't crazy high. I think we all had them in like our seventh or eighth spot.
Yeah, I think so.
Around there. I
Mhm.
think I had them in my sixth.
Yeah, you had them the highest. I remember. I
Or
think Brad and I had them seven or eight, and you had them sixth. Again,
yeah.
I'm not saying like, oh my god, it's over after an online event where who did they lost a phase first, and obviously losing to
Hmm.
Doug is a little tough. But I
Yeah.
I feel the same way. What are your thoughts on this team? Both of you, Brad, go first, then maybe Brock. And I still have the same thoughts I thought preseason. I'm curious if either of you are going to say what I'm thinking about this team.
I think my thoughts are exactly the same. Honestly, I think this team will take some time to mesh. I mean, it's a brand new roster, first event of the year, like you said, grain of salt type of thing. Losing to Doug, Celium will be clowned. Looking forward to seeing those memes. Um, I mean, I just don't think that any team is really ready yet. So I think anybody could have walked away from this. I don't think this really changes my outlook on the Falcons. I think they're still a talented team that can turn it up at any point. But I also think that they are one of these teams that can lose to just about anybody as well.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Rock.
For me, team, really hasn't changed for me, even though they lost to Doug, that's hilarious to me. So
It
we,
is.
we got to get Doug on the Falcons now,
If he beats him, he
Unreal.
gets to take
But
one of their spots. Even for
facts.
Cell.
Yeah, do it. To me, this team, they didn't really play that well. I mean, as KD on the team was Cell with a 1.01, and he usually has like a 1.15, and Pred didn't play too well. And I think all these players like Pred, Cell, I think Worm's gonna have to, step back and try not be so much of that slayer, but be more for the team.
Yeah. My thoughts remain the exact same. I look at 4 players that are all really talented. They don't
Yep.
seem to fit together too well. Nothing this weekend changed my mind on that, but I still think talent-wise, I can see them meshing enough to find a way to like sneak into one of those last seeds. I feel a little bit more shaky specifically about Cloud9 didn't really phase me that they moved on this far, but I feel specifically more shaky about the fact um, that G2 I had them out of my top 8, and I was like, you know what, this team they definitely have a pretty high floor. Like they have a good sub duo, and now I'm kind of thinking like, yeah, there's a couple teams I'm looking at that probably was a mistake. I probably should have just went with my gut and put G2 uh, up there towards that like 7th or 8th spot. My main
Mhm.
thought about this team still remains the same though. Kismet should be on the sub. Exodus should be the flex. Kismet, they need somebody to make plays, and like you just said, they need somebody to sacrifice for the team, play the OBJ,
Yep.
make plays. Exnid is very talented player. Like he has mechanical skill that is CDL level. Like he's a very
Yep.
good skilled player. He's just not ever going to be like the dirty work player. Pred
Mhm.
certainly isn't, and Celium certainly isn't. Kismet won a
Right.
world championship being the enabler for his team, and they have this guy sitting on a flex. I mean, our point engagements per 10, he was higher than both Pred and Exnid on an AR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that. When I see that, Celium and Kismet were their number 1 in engagements per 10. Like I don't want both my ARs being my highest engagement players in hardpoint. Granted, that could be some, just due to the fact that Exit and Pred struggle more, so they were dying a little more harder for them to get in engagements when they're not ripping 2 pieces. You get more engagements, obviously, but I don't know.
Yeah.
This seems obvious that Kismet should easily be on the sub to enable Pred a
Mhm.
little more, and then because really, when you look at this team, I want like we know Celium is just going to rip kills in the back line, hold down spawns, play good in S&D, and just put up big numbers, just like guaranteeing you kills. The way this team wins is Kismet's opening up the map for Pred to be the superstar like he did for Hydra. That's the way this team wins.
Yep.
So I just don't like the fact that Exnid's on a sub. It should be Flexnid and
Yeah.
it should be Kismet on sub.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
think you
I
know.
don't.
Go ahead,
Oh, go
bro.
ahead, Brad. You can.
I think you said that perfectly. I also think Xnid just needs more time to kind of I don't know get more game knowledge. Because I think he's a very raw player right now, and I think obviously Kismet is. I mean, like you said, he won a world championship being the dirty player, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that knowledge and that what's the word anyways, I think that knowledge will allow him to, push the team forward and excel. Whereas Xnid, I don't think he has all the knowledge to be able to make the same kind of plays Kismet can make and open up for Pred.
Yeah, it's just such a weird fit, and they need everything to go correct. And like, it's a little bit weird because like last year, Exnid had time to kind of learn and grow. Like that Falcons team was going nowhere, and everybody knew it. But now he's on
Yeah.
a team with Pred, Kismet, and Celium, 3 world champions. Like this team has expectations and capital invested
Hmm.
to want to win right now and be competitive right now. That like it's in a weird spot because I feel like in some ways he's the safest player on their team because they really want to build around him. But also at some point, like you're not going to be able to continue building these really good rosters. I guess maybe they are because they're offering so much money. But like you're not going to be able to continue attracting these good players in a normal market where you're not offering $1 million salary. If you just continue to play Exit and he just isn't improving in terms of like the in-game decision making, like I think he can improve. I just don't know if the timeline is correct for this team. Like he may need a little more time to improve, and like they are a team that wants to win right now. I don't know if it happens this year, but we'll see. I mean, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on our next team. So the other teams that were knocked out in last Stallions, obviously not going to go too much into that being a challengers team. And then Bush, the Barstool situation, which was hilarious. Donnie Temps coaching him now. That team is just scenes.
I saw that.
Donnie Temps coaching
Donnie
Tej and the
Temp.
boys. It's just funny scenes
That's
over there. Barstools, they were like posting all over their socials. Dave Portnoy's posting about them not streaming, and he's like, "Wow, he was like sick team I have." They didn't even stream like any of the tournament. That team is so good for the challenger scene though. Like the amount of eyes on them.
Yeah.
But they're knocked out, and then obviously we talk about Falcons. The other team that was knocked out in last, I feel like Deja Vu, Boston Breach. Every year, Brock and I last year, kind of particularly, were like, yeah, just I'm not moved. And then every year, there's people on Twitter coming at me, and in the YouTube comments coming at me that the Breach, like they look different, and I'm like, I don't know, man. They could be a decent team. I still think they have a good chance to finish in the top 8, but like they lost to C9, and then they lost to Surge, who Surge did not look good this weekend. They lost to C9 and Surge, two teams that are expected to be towards the bottom. All of us were higher on Surge, hoping that like the players would pan out, but I think we all would also say that like I think we all said Surge floor is extremely low. Like they could be really bad.
Yeah.
Like they have a lot of question marks. They could be a really bad team. Boston lost to both those teams. Boston, this is a quick one for me. My thoughts are not changing on them at all. I think they have a decent floor in terms of kind of keeping matches close for the most part, but they just don't have the top end players to compete with the top teams. Like they can sneak wins off them, but like it's going to be very hard for this team to ever put together consistent results of like they did at champs last year, getting a top 3. Like, this team is just like Snoopy can pop off. This game seems to be a good fit for him. Cammy's playing well right now. Nasty's an upgrade. Like Purge has his moments, but again, like I throw this roster out there against OpTic or Thieves, and it's just like they're just going to get outslayed, and it's just they have to do everything so perfectly in a respawn, like in a hard point to beat these teams consistently. Like they're the classic 2-3-5. I don't know. Like
so they rely on the S&D.
Yeah, they're
just now.
Yeah.
They're a fine team. They're fighting for that 8 seed. They can pull off an upset, but like consistently being a top team, like it was like the take was like we're faded. I forget one of you had Boston at 11. I think it might have been Brock, and that was basically the take of Boston at 11 is faded. Haven't been watching scrims, and I'm like, again, like
scrims are everything,
and Boston can look good, but like it's scrims in the first 3 days of the game. Like
yeah,
some teams are gonna like. If we're going off like scrim results / like these early tournaments, like Cloud9 and G2 are top 4 teams. Like, I don't believe that that's real. Like, I don't know. It just
some teams are just slower out the gate.
I think that's why this Boston team is always a team that just like doesn't intrigue me as much. Because like when I look at other teams, I look at the Surge team. Like again, they could be awful, but at least there's like an unknown commodity there. With guys like Abe and Legend and even Lunars to some sense, and even like the G2 roster with a guy like Mamba who looked pretty decent at times this weekend. Like just the Boston roster is just a bunch of guys that we've seen, and they just feel so tapped out in terms of their ceiling.
Yeah.
I don't know. My thoughts haven't changed much on them. They could be solid. They could get 8th, but I just don't see any kind of ceiling with this team.
Yeah, I don't see it. Sure, they upgraded for Nasty, but don't. It still doesn't move me from where they were last year.
Boys, I think Cold War Cammy's back.
Nope. I tuned into the flank, and the first thing I heard was them talking about like people are saying Cold War Cammy's back, and I turned it off. I was like, nope, nope. Like
He had the third highest hard point damage per 10.
I literally had to pause the flank and like take 5 minutes to be like, no, not Cold War Cammy. Went back and they kept talking about it for 5 more minutes, and I was like, I need to skip past this part. I don't need to hear about Cold War Cammy.
Cold War
I love
Cammy.
Cammy. Cammy's an awesome player, but we have been talking about Cold War Cammy for 5 years and we haven't seen it since. Like,
Is he finally back?
yeah, I hope I hope he
He
is, because
might
that would
be.
instantly make Boston a much better team and more entertaining.
would.
That's what would make Boston go over the hump, is if Cold War Cammy was back.
Hopefully,
That's what would get Boston over the hump.
BO7 Cammy is coming
you're not
different.
wrong.
Yeah. All right. Teams that got knocked out, top 12, Omit, Brooklyn had a nice showing. They beat Surge in the winners bracket. Team War, Dougie's team, got 3-0'd by the Thieves. The Miami Heretics, that's who we'll talk about next. And then the Surge. Let's start with the Heretics. I don't really want to talk actually much about the Heretics. They had a sub. It's kind of hard to judge. Eric Boom was in.
Oh yeah.
Because not Lurks, why can't I think of his name? Trakes is like still moving and stuff, and like getting into the States. So like, I mean, Eric Boom dropped a 0.85. Rencord and Super put up good numbers. I'm kind of just gonna say let's skip past Heretics. They didn't. I mean,
Yeah.
they lost and then
Same
beat a
old.
Challengers team, but like they had a sub in. I don't want to really talk about first week of the
Yeah.
game. They weren't playing with the real roster. It's like whatever, move on.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean the Cadies look like what it was last year.
Yeah, medals in the 0.9 something range, and then I mean, just purely based on like what the numbers look like, if Trakes can come in and be uh like Real and get that 1.1, like team's gonna be looking okay. I think
Yeah.
Heretics are fine, but again, hard to pull anything from a first week of the game event where where you're
Have
playing with
sub.
sub. But our other team that was knocked out, a little bit of scary scenes here for any of us, like the three of us that kind of are putting our faith in this team, the Surge.
The Surge.
Yeah. Legend,
Honestly,
tough weekend a little bit for him in terms of, overall numbers. He had some flashes where he showed his talent, but what do you think, Brad?
it's okay. Um, I mean, I'm not really worried about Surge. Obviously, first week of the game, like we said, but also I think we all said very high ceiling for this team, low floor. But I think we all agreed in the fact that we think this team is going to be a later stage team, like um, major three, major four. I think that's where they're gonna kind of hit their stride because all these players are super young. And I will say, like Lunars, I think he had I think he had the third highest KD in the tournament, which he only played three series, but still, it's good to see at least some of the young players popping off. But like, I'm not too worried about Surge. I kind of expected them to be, bottom half, bottom four in the league, especially in the first two majors. I'm not too worried about Surge. I think they'll figure it out. I so believe.
Yeah.
Same here. I just kind of think they would struggle early on,
Yeah.
being such a young players with none of them are really leaders to the extent that
They don't have like
know
a Skies Tech guy to
Yeah.
like kind of have that veteran leadership.
I mean, they'll struggle, but they'll all grow together. Go from
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, this team deserves a little bit of leeway just because of the fact that like it is such a raw team, and like Legend got what 3 days of scrims and then got thrusted into an event. Like,
Yeah.
and I think if you're watching the maps, you saw the mechanical skill and you saw like the talent that was like is the talent certainly present. Like, obviously, like when you look at his numbers and you see 0.78, like it doesn't appear on the surface, but like when you watch his POV, like you can see there's some snappiness, there's some talent there. Like, it's just a matter of can the in-game decision making catch up quick, and how patient are his teammates willing to be, because you've got some teams like Lunars, if he has a bad year, it's probably it for him.
Yeah.
Gwyn probably
Yeah.
gets another chance if he puts up okay numbers, just because we've seen a lot of talent there. And Abe maybe gets another chance because subs are hard to come by, and like he has a decent year. But like nothing's guaranteed. If any of these players have a bad year, like really really bad, they're looking at potentially being done with. So how patient are these players going to be with Legend? Like if it's end of stage one and he's just not getting it, like are they going to want to pull the plug and make a move? I do think, like, I remember when we talked about like a successful season, one of the things we kind of talked about for this team was like finding who your core is.
Yeah.
And I do feel like, we know there's a lot of talent here. Like if Legend can catch up and, become that really good player we think he could be. Like Lunars and Abe showed me something. I know Gwyn can be a good player. Like there are again, I saw stuff this weekend that there are building blocks for this team. Like it's gonna take a lot. Like Legend is gonna have to come around and come around quick, but like there's talent on this team. Like there's a higher
Yeah.
ceiling available. Will they hit it? I have no idea. It's tough to say, but like I don't know. And people are like keep making. I don't really like the shottzyy comparison that much for Legend, obviously just because their play styles are different. But like I don't like the comparison as much because of the fact that people keep saying they're like, well, shottzyy struggled early, and it's like yes, but like shottzyy was also way more touted, and shottzyy had also
Mm,
played like a lot of BO4 S&D wagers and variant and tournaments and stuff like that. So like shottzyy had a little
yeah.
bit more experience in COD when making the switch. Like he had played BO4 and Search and Destroy and all that stuff for like a full year, wagers and all that stuff. It's not, of course, not pro level play, but it's at least some kind of competitive play to like get your mind in that mode. Where Legend
Yeah.
just came straight off a Halo season, getting second at Worlds, straight into COD. Like
Yeah.
not much of a break there.
I,
So we'll see. I don't
I,
really love the shottzyy comparison because it's a little bit unfair to him in a way. Like expecting him to come in and be shottzyy, who was like basically touted
Yeah.
as the chosen one when he came over.
yeah. I mean, also, shots did have some really good players on his team and
Hey,
some good leaders.
that's also a very good point. He came in with one of the other highest touted players ever in illey, Huke, who was especially at that time viewed as one of the most talented players. And then he had Crim and Clay, two of the
Yeah.
top 5 goats. Like
Yeah.
it's a far cry from Lunars, Abe, and Gwyn. A
Yeah.
little bit different situation to walk
Definitely
into. You have Crim and
different.
Clay in your ear instead of Abe, Lunars, and Gwyn.
Yeah.
No, nothing against them, but they're not Crim and Clay. Like,
Yeah.
uh,
I guess I'm curious to like hear what your guys' thoughts are, but like you brought up like how long are they really going to be willing to wait on Legend if he can't like figure it out? I feel like the Surge, like as an organization, are going to be really patient with him, especially since he is like a highly touted Halo player and he's expected to be good in COD. But
yeah,
I feel like, I guess this is where your guys' input will come in. Do you think that the team will kind of like, if he doesn't figure out, it'll start to like break apart the team?
yeah, I
Do you
think it
like an
could.
inner, yeah,
It depends how the
Yeah.
relationship is like out of the game, but like if he's just dropping point sevens, and there's a difference between he's like dropping point sevens, but like in practice you're seeing the progression. Like you're
Mhm.
Hmm.
seeing him start to understand it more and you're seeing him get better. But if he's like dropping point sevens and he's just not making progress in terms of his understanding of the game, there's gonna be some frustration there because it's like, dude, like you gotta start picking it up. And like who knows, that could completely not happen. But like I feel like if it is happening, there's gonna be some resentment there. I just don't know how much. I mean, Surge let their entire roster walk, a roster that got them second at half the tournaments last year, including champs. So I've got to imagine like they're not really willing to spend too much to
Mhm.
replace
Yeah.
him. And I also got to imagine his contract is like decent, just being the best player in Halo. I have no idea. I don't know that he had a ton of offers out there, but like I feel like a lot of teams probably wanted to sign Legend as a sub this year. Like I bet you
Probably.
he had a ton of offers as a sub. Get him on a cheaper contract. Get him on a 2-year deal so you have him locked in. Let him play challengers, and if he looks really good, you kind of have that like ace up your sleeve to put him on the roster next year or something. And Surge probably just gave him the starting spot. So because like I would have been doing that all day if I was a GM. Some of these top Halo players, I'd have been like, I'll offer you a sub spot. I'll offer you a sub spot, and then just like keep them locked up. So then when they play challenges, if they are really good, I'll take the risk and then like put them on the main roster. That's what I would have done with a
Yeah.
lot of these Halo players coming over. Um, our next group of teams is funny: Ravens and Thieves. Let's start with Ravens because it'll probably be a little quicker. I feel okay about this team. I think we all had them like just on the outside looking in terms of champs, but again, this is a team that has a ceiling. They got 3 really fast players in Craze, Lurks, and Nero. Um, I feel like I saw overall kind of what I expected. I mean, they did 3-0 G2, who ended up having a really, really good weekend and
Yeah.
making a crazy losers bracket one. Obviously, they get 3-0 by OpTic, and they beat the Surge and lose to Ultra. So, kind of beat a team that's, we assume going into the weekend is roughly on their level in G2. Obviously, lose to 2 teams, OpTic and Ultra, or Koi, that we expect to be better than them, beat Surge, who they're probably ahead of. But, like, I like to see Nero and Lurks putting up big numbers for this team because I think Craze will come around. Like, the formula for this team is simple: slasher, direct the troops, the other 3 go crazy. Like, and I
Yep.
feel like we saw something that could look like, and I'm thinking this Ravens team is. I feel slightly better about them than I did coming into the weekend. Like I can see them making it mixy for the 8 seed, maybe. Like I still don't think they're going to be some top team, but like I have a little more faith, and I'm a little bit more excited to watch them after this weekend.
I mean, they got the talent from those
Yeah.
players.
Yeah, got the talent. There's a lot of talent on this roster. Obviously, we always know Nero can shoot his gun, and then like
Yeah, you can.
Lurks and Craze. We've heard a lot about them. Like there's a lot of talent, a lot of speed there. So I'm excited to continue watching this team play.
Yep.
LAT, is it the panic button time? I also don't even
Yep.
really care to talk about them because like
It's
they
a panic
looked
button.
Hydra looked
Red
completely
button
lost until
smash.
that final map of Overload. They looked like they had no idea what they were doing. They basically haven't scrimmed it. Like again, like I'm not gonna panic because they lost. I mean, they almost lost to the Barstool team, and then they beat them, lost to LAG 3-0, came down 3-0, Dougie, and then got 3-0'd by G2. Hydra 1.1, Scrap 1.08, a BZ 1.0, Kenny 0.85. Like, I have no worries about this team. I don't know what to say. Like, they're going to figure it out over time.
Yeah. First week.
Like, teams like them, and if OpTic were to struggle, they get a little bit of leeway because it's like, I mean, it's first week of the game.
They're
Like,
gonna pick it up.
if OpTic would have gotten knocked out in the spot, I'd have been like, yeah, they're gonna be fine. Like,
Yeah.
I think Thieves are gonna be fine. And our teams that got knocked out top 6, FaZe and Ultra. I guess a little bit of a surprise because when you look at the teams that they're playing, like G2 and Cloud9, you'd expected like, G2 and Cloud9, okay, you made your little run to top 6, now you're out. Complete opposite happens. FaZe gets knocked out T6. I liked what I saw from FaZe this weekend overall. I think it's going to take time, and we mentioned this last week. I think it's going to take time. Like, this is the first time Simp hasn't played with a BZ since ever. Every pro tournament he's played in has been with a BZ.
It's gonna feel so weird on the map.
Yeah, exactly. He's played every pro year with a BZ as the sub duo going in front of him, and this is his first time ever playing without him, and also his first time playing without Celium since Black Ops 4. Is in MW19. This is when they started teaming together, and they've teamed together ever since. So it's his first time playing without both of them since Black Ops 4, and his first time ever playing out without a BZ. So, bit of a weird spot. I feel like it'll take some getting used to. That boy Abuza was shooting this weekend, 1.16 on the weekend.
Good.
He was frying in that first series against Falcons.
Brad, he's so good. Abuza.
He is so good. He's a difference maker for this team.
Yep.
Because I think when they all mesh, I wish this team still had a BZ. 04, I love 04. He can have his pop-off moments, but I wish this team still had a BZ so bad. Because I like what Abuza brings to this team. I think he can speed it up a little bit more. Like, I think he's more willing to play faster than Celium was at times. And I don't know. I really, really like Abuza on this team. I don't think Draza and Simp are going to drop 0.9s all year. 04 is perfect where he's at. 0.95, play fast. That's great. But like, I don't think Abuza or Draza and Simp are going to drop 0.9s all year. I really like what I saw from this team. Like, they just need some time to mesh, but I think moving forward, they're going to be in a good spot.
Yeah. It just always feels like that Abuza's always in the right spot at the right time.
He's a really good player, man. The hype from him in Challengers was certainly warranted. I know Brad's going to say he's terrible, but...
And then he got put on a sub.
Yeah, that's still
whoever did that, bro.
He's the best main AR in Challengers in quite some time, and they pick him up and throw him on a sub. That was still criminal to this day. All for Arcitys. Your boy, Brock. All for your boy.
He needs to get back in the league.
So true.
This
Brad,
G2 FaZe match was no thoughts on Abuza. He's a bum. The G2 FaZe match was honestly like the first match that I was actually able to like truly lock in and watch. And I remember it was I keep on wanting to say Scud. It's not Scar. It was a Scar. Oh shoot, was it an HP or like the Overdrive? I don't remember. But either way, I was watching it and Simp dropped like 30 and 20 or something or 33 and 20 or something like that. And he was going crazy. I feel like that's going to be the Simp we're going to see most of the year. I think Simp is going to have a phenomenal year. Might win MVP. I mean, Simp looked phenomenal. And I saw the Kremp drop 50 on their heads. I was
The
like,
Kremp was
oh
shooting.
my god, yeah, he was shooting. And Estriel was making plays.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that this could have been one of those scenarios, as Ryan likes to say, that maybe they just scrimmed more than everybody else, so they knew the maps, they knew how to play the game a little bit better. And at this point of the year, that's a difference maker. And
Yeah.
I think that might be the case for G2, but I do like what I saw at a phase. I don't, like you said, I don't think Sim's gonna drop a .9 all year. I think he's gonna do more of the 33 and 20 type stuff. Abuza. Abuza. Yeah, but
He's
yeah,
good.
phase.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Come on, Brad, you can say it. He's
I'm
so
not gonna
good.
say. I'm never saying it.
I hope he wins MVP this year. Our other team that got knocked out top 6 was the Toronto Koi. So something interesting was talked about on the desk. Study, it was Study, Merc. I don't think Nameless was on there at the time. I think it was like Study, Merc, Maven, and Puckett were on there at the time. They were talking about roster changes. They were talking about Toronto, and they were kind of saying like Toronto wanted Abeezy this offseason. That's like what the rumor was. They wanted him. That's not a shock. I think Abeezy and Joe are really good friends. They play ranked together, they hang out all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I think they're really good friends. So like that's not a shock that they wanted Abeezy. And I mean like also like the
Who
sky is
doesn't?
blue. Abeezy was a free agent. What team didn't want him? Basically like probably
Yeah.
OpTic, like because they were keeping their team. Every team wanted Abeezy. Um, and of course, like if you were to tell me Abeezy over Real, yeah, I would prefer that for this team. Like but they were the interesting thing they were saying is like they don't like the Real fit necessarily because they're like he's a pretty selfish SMG. And like they were saying, like being a selfish SMG isn't always a bad thing, like depending on your team comp. Like,
Hmm.
but they were saying like, yeah, I don't think it fits that well because like Joe kind of has that play style as well. And I thought that was interesting for like Merc and Study to kind of agree on that. Like Merc was pretty adamant that like he doesn't really like the Real pickup for this team because he's a selfish SMG. I guess I'm curious to see how this goes on for the rest of the year. I don't agree with that. I mean, they did get beat by Cloud9 here, which is a shocker that Cloud9 got to the top 4, but like I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't think that it's a situation where like they don't fit together. I still feel very optimistic about this team. Like there is a lot of talent there. It's very evident when you
Yeah.
watch this team. There's a lot of talent. I'm looking forward to continue to watch them. I think my thoughts did not change on this team. I think they're going to be a really good team this year.
Hmm.
Top 4, top 5.
Yep. Don't have worries. Clemens played pretty well this weekend on the flex.
And he's only going to get better as time goes on. It's always easier for the players. Like if you're making a switch from sub to flex, it's so much harder to make a switch from flex to sub or AR to sub. Like it's so much harder.
Yeah.
Any thoughts, Brad, or you want to move on to C9?
I guess I like so Kleenex on the flex. In my head, I feel like him playing an AR will obviously slow him down a little bit, but I also think that will benefit more of like the Real Joe dynamic because he is going to be a faster flex in the league.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that will benefit both of the quote unquote selfish subs?
Yeah, I think it can benefit them. I think this game and the nature of it just feels like every time when you're whether you're playing ranked, you're playing wagers, you're playing in the CDL, like the game just starts to speed up. Like there are so many times in COD history, and like Brock will definitely remember this, where like early on you're looking at the game and it's 2 ARs on this map, and then all of a sudden this map's got 3 ARs, and then slowly as the year shifts, an extra sub gets pulled out, and then by chance time another extra sub gets pulled out, and it's 3 subs on a map, and like as teams start to figure it out, you can start to play faster and faster and faster. You can hit cuts faster. Like I think the game is going to continue to speed up, and I think it's just going to benefit this team because I think Kleenex is going to want to still hit. I mean, Kleenex was a fast sub, so like
Yeah.
he's not going to be a slow flex. I think it benefits the other two a lot because I think just like having your flex more involved in the play will always just help out your subs. That extra bullet that Kleenex lays in to somebody
Oops.
as Real sliding in, like instead of Real making the guy one shot, the guy's now dead. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It just like I think Kleenex just being in the mix more is going to help. Just guys are going to be weaker. It's kind of like how they always talk about like Octane's play style. Octane just had such a good shot and was always so involved in the play. Like he was always just putting 2 bullets into everybody. So every time his sub slid
Hmm.
in, they were just a little bit weak, and he could always finish the play. Like Octane was always just peppering him with bullets. Like he made sure, even if he knew he wasn't going to get the kill, he made sure to put bullets into him because like he was going to make the players weak. Like
Yeah.
that's the way he did it. Cloud9 boys, they got fourth.
Holy.
Dogs, absolute dogs.
I mean, what their formula for winning happened. I mean, Afro popping off, like kind of in takeover mode. Beans was solid. Mac and Vivid doing the dirty work. Like,
Yep.
I mean, I don't know how you couldn't feel a little bit more optimistic about them after this weekend. Like, we're all saying they're last place, and I still think there's a decent chance they're there. But like, they take out the Breach, who people said looked amazing in scrims. They beat an omit Brooklyn team, who granted they're a challenger team. They're always a top tier challenger team. Like, they're a good
Yep.
team. They lose to G2 or Orglis as they're called right now in a 3-1 fashion, and then they go down into the losers bracket. Beat Ultra or Koi, a really good win, and then lose to G2. I mean, like, my thoughts remain the same on this team. Like, they could be an early season riser, where they play really well for a month or so, and then I could see them playing well up to the holiday break. I don't know who their schedule is. I did hear I was listening to the flank today, and I heard Falcons open up the opening weekend with Thieves and OpTic. That's brutal. Falcons play Thieves and OpTic in their first two matches. That'll put you right behind the 8 ball, like right off the rip. But yeah, I feel okay about this Cloud9 team. I think it's hard to say I don't feel slightly better about them. Like, the formula's been clear, and it's always clear. Afro's got to get back to that star form, and the other guys just got to play their role. Like, the ceiling's capped, but like they can. I have more faith they can hit the ceiling than I thought they had, which is like the competitive, annoying team that could have some interesting series. Like, I still don't think they have a crazy high ceiling, but like if they're the team I expected to be the bottom team, I like to see them getting some wins because it makes me hopeful the league can be even more competitive this year.
Yeah.
I do think some of the wall bouncing stuff we saw though, it's going to get interesting as the year goes on. There's going to be some crazy plays and some players just getting skill gapped. Like,
yeah. There's just the angles you can see from the wall bounce is just crazy.
Yeah. You got shottzyy ninjaing in COD, doing the double kill, jump over the wall, get behind the guy, assassinate him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to G2, our next team. They got third place in this tournament, kind of out of nowhere, kind of unexpected,
G2.
especially the way it happened. I mean, they get first rounded in winners bracket 3-0 by Ravens. It's like, oh boy, like here we go. They lose 3-0, and then they go on a run, beating Stallions, beating omit Brooklyn, beating Thieves. By the way, all three of those were 3-0s. 9-0 map count, and then they beat FaZe in a game 5, beat Cloud9 3-1, and then they lose to the Gentlemates 3-2 in a game 5 to go to finals. It was the Kremp show this weekend. Skies turned back the clock. Skies looked awesome. Estriel looked really good. Mamba showed his flashes. I mean, like, he had a .95 on the weekend, but Mamba certainly showed, like, you could see the talent was there. The talent that made him the most highly touted AR. And I don't know. I feel maybe a little better about this G2 team hitting their ceiling. Again, I will say this feels like right now the prime candidate, I would say, for the early season surge, late season drop off. Like, this feels like last year's Ravens where they come out and it's like, okay, like some players in this roster that are like pretty good players and like I could see them doing well. It's just, again, like I think the ceiling's just a little limited, but I'm excited. Like, Brad and I were going back and forth on this where I think Brad is probably the lowest of the three of us on this team. I think I could be wrong,
so.
but I feel like Brad was the lowest, and I think we were going back and forth. And I was kind of just saying, like, Skies deserves some credit. Like, I think people are way too low on Skies. Like, he had a bad game last year, bad situation. I think people are just writing him off, and I think he can be a good player. This is one online tournament. He could have a bad year, but Skies looked really good this weekend. It's the best he's looked in a while.
Yeah.
And Kremp obviously looked insane. If Kremp and Estriel are going to play the way they did this weekend, then yeah, this team has a chance to be top 4. Like, I don't think they're going to play like this all year, but they looked awesome.
Yeah. Well, let's see it, for a couple months and playing that highly.
Yeah. Brad, thoughts on your boys?
I think the talent was always there for like those two subs, but they showed the flashes, especially Kremp. I think had those moments of extreme takeover. I am a little worried about those two having the consistency to be a good team throughout the whole
Not
year.
worried about.
But yeah, exactly. I think you nailed it with the Ravens comparison. I think that this team might have more talent than that Ravens team.
I
So I
agree.
think my hopes for this team went up quite a lot because I mean we saw the ability for Kremp and Estriel, the sub duo, which ultimately wins or loses you games. And I think if that sub duo can, I mean, find any sort of consistency, I mean, obviously it's going to be really hard to maintain what they did. But even if they drop off just a little bit and they kind of maintain where that is, I think G2 could be, I mean, they could find themselves in that sixth spot. I don't know. I don't know if I see them any higher than that, but I mean, they can make some waves, especially early on in the game if they keep playing like this.
Yeah, I would agree. I think they of our teams that we kind of had towards the bottom, they always had one of the higher ceilings. We mentioned that just because they have world champ skies, Estriel and Kremp have a lot of pop off moments, and Estriel and Kremp have a pretty high floor. I feel like as a sub duo, like I don't see them being much worse than middle of the pack. And at
Yep.
times, like those two, if they both pop off at the same time, they could be like a top tier sub duo for certain maps. Like, because they have
Mhm.
crazy takeover. And Mamba, like, Mamba's the X factor here. Like, if Skies, I don't expect Skies to be dropping a 1.15 all year. If he is, this team's going to be unreal.
Yeah.
He has a 1.24 in
Yeah.
hardpoint this weekend. Like, if Skies is doing that all year, they're going to be unreal. I think Skies settles more on that one. The thing for me is
Yeah.
like Astro and Kremp are going to take a slight step down. Like they're not going to be dropping 1.15 and 1.2s all year. Like they're going to take a slight step down just naturally. Can Mamba fill that gap and like hit his talent? Because to me, the big thing here is Mamba. Like I trust that Skies is going to be Skies and be just solid, and I trust that that Kremp and Estriel are going to be pretty good overall throughout the year. They're going to have their inconsistencies, but they're going to be pretty good. It really just comes down to can Mamba step up and be the player we think he can. Like if he can, this team has they're unlocked. Like they can be that sixth team.
Yeah. And you would think, he can only get better from here.
Yeah, you would think he continues to improve with the limited practice he had. I would think he's going to continue to improve.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Our last teams, Gentlemates and OpTic. Obviously, Gentlemates get second
Two good
place.
teams.
They lose in a final map 7, 4-3 to OpTic. Huke, basically the MVP of this one, a 1.31 overall in the tournament. Mercury's a 1.25, shottzyy a 1.15, Dashy a 1.04. They steamrolled 12-0 map count to the finals. They didn't lose a map, including a 3-0 over G2 in winners finals. They were just steamrolling everyone. They are very, very, very clearly the best team in the game right now.
They're so good.
But Gentlemates gave them a run in the final. I mean, it went all the way to a final map, map 7. Gentlemates also a very, very good team. Sib and Envoy, again, both around a 0.9 on the event. I expect that to get better for both of them. The big thing for me for this weekend was the fact that Neptune looked really good because that was my biggest question for this team. Envoy is
Yep.
going to be good. I don't care. Envoy will be good. He always is. I believe Ghosty will be good. He's always been good since he came in the league. I believe Sib will be good. Like Sib's pretty much always been a good shooter, been good since he got in the league. My question was always Neptune with this team. Like he had a lot of bad years and one good year. Like,
Mm-hmm.
do I trust that the one good year is his new standard, or is he going to revert? I didn't know. I hope he was going to be just as good, but I didn't know. And so far through this 1 week, Neptune looked really good. So that was good to see. And then I mean, for the side of OpTic, I don't have much else to say besides they're undisputed best team in the game right now. They look to have continued their form from last year. They are unreal.
Mm-hmm. Merc, man. What did he do?
Merc
He's
literally
nasty.
saved legacies. He's so good.
Literally.
He's so good.
God damn. Love to see, Orglis / Gentlemates, be in the finals for once.
Yeah, your boys
We're back.
back. You never were there, but you're back. Yeah. Brad's lagging a little bit. I don't know if he's here. He's about to ask him his thoughts. Brad's lagging.
Oh.
He's frozen. All right, Brock, we'll move on. Hopefully Brad's back in here soon.
Yep.
But I mean, yeah, I don't have much else to say on OpTic. I will say for the side of OpTic though, it is very good to see Huke popping off
Mm-hmm.
because like he's kind of in a way this team's X factor. Like Mercury's just been a superstar since he joined the team. Like he's just unreal. I guess this is just his normal. and we know shottzy's shottzyy, and we know dashy's dashy. Huke has always been a little bit more inconsistent one throughout his career. Like he's really, really amazing at times, and he just has some bad performances at other times. Like if Huke wants to sit here and drop 1.3s, like this team is going to be. I mean, they're unreal. Like because I would say like Huke's their worst player, and that's not a knock on Huke. He's an incredible player. He's a 2-time world champ. Like, but when you're on a team of superstars, somebody's got to be the worst player. You know, like
Yeah.
I think Brad's back.
Oh,
Yeah,
Hello,
we're good. I
Brad.
think we're good.
it's super windy here, so and I got a text saying that like the internet company is having some issues. So
Okay.
if I drop out, that's why.
Okay.
No, Brad,
thoughts
don't
on
drop out.
thoughts on OpTic, Brad? Basically, I don't know if you could hear us when you were freezing, but we basically said OpTic are they're just unreal. They're the undisputed best team in the game until we basically get definitive proof otherwise.
Oh, I think he's lagging again.
He's frozen again. His internet's going. I just heard him. He's a robot. All right,
I think
Brad's cheesing.
Brad's just smile frozen. We'll just move on. We'll just wait, Brad. We'll just have you until you're unfrozen. We'll just have you chime in at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I can speak for Brad when I say OpTic best team in the game right now until proven otherwise. They're
100%.
They're unreal. There's no debate. Like
I bet Brad would agree too.
I picked I picked Thieves to be the number one team this year. I still think that's obviously certainly a possibility. It's 1 week, but like right now, there's no debate. OpTic is number one.
Yep.
I'm gonna
World champs.
pull up. Actually, let's talk about the other news that I want to talk about before we do our quick map tier list. So confirmed CDL maps for the season are out. Spence, who is kind of like the league ops guy, was in the comments of the post saying this is for the start of the season. He was like adamant to say start, which I think obviously he's hinting there at the fact that we could rotate maps in and out, especially with all the maps that are coming out.
Please.
Yeah, that is a huge W. A lot of other esports do that, namely like like Valorant.
Yep.
I think CS obviously does something like that. But COD League posted today, wait's over. Here are the official maps and modes. For Hardpoint, we've got Blackheart, a shocker there. Colossus,
Small
Den,
map.
Exposure, and Scar. I guess let's start with the Hardpoint before I go to the other ones. The big surprise is no raid. I guess spawns are just completely messed up. People are spawning in hills, like they're spawning super close to spawn. And I'll make an argument against raid in a second here. I know it's like arguably the greatest competitive map ever made and all that, but I've been consistent on this argument for as long as I can remember. I like the map set a lot. We've been playing some 8s and stuff, so we've played we played 4 of these 5 maps. We didn't play Blackheart, but Blackheart's going to be Bow Cage. I mean, that is a tiny map. I love Colossus Hardpoint. Yeah, okay, we can hear Brad. Well, hopefully that's a good trend. I love Colossus Hardpoint. P1's it's a little weird. Where you
but
bounce up in the staircase, but it's good. Den, I love Den. Exposure Hardpoint seems to play really well. And then Scar, I love Scar. Scar Hardpoint. Like this is a great Hardpoint map set. My thoughts on Raid not being in, I love it if the other maps are good. I say this all the time. I don't ever want the remade maps in the map pool unless the original maps are just really bad.
Yeah.
To me, it's like those OG maps are just a crutch that we use in case the developer makes bad original maps. I want to play new stuff every year. Like, I don't want to play Raid every year, but like if all the other maps are so terrible and Raid's an option, sure, give me Raid. Like, or if they fix the spawns on Raid, like Raid could be rotated into the rotation in stage 2. Like, you never know. Like, they're gonna continue to rotate things in and out. But I don't know. Your thoughts on I have to play Blackheart. It's gonna be a bang up, but I like the Hardpoint map selection overall. It's a lot of really good maps.
I agree. I really like Colossus. Besides, P1's mixy, but rest of it is love that. I love how the layout of the map is. Den, Den is a good map. It seems like for Den you gotta rotate early to some of these hills to lock it down.
Just punch a hole in the wall to the rooftop side, and the map would be like the map would just be like Chef's Kiss. It would be awesome if there was just they need to make a cut to that rooftop side, and it would be the best map in the game in my opinion. because I love the
Yep.
vibes of that map. I love that map. We'll get to it in a second. I love S&D on that map. Um, I don't know. Other maps in here though, Brock, Exposure and Scar.
Uh, I mean, yes, they're both pretty good.
I love
Scar,
Scar.
I think I prefer Scar over Exposure
I think all the pros
and
are pretty
then
unanimous saying Exposure's like the best map. I thought.
Really?
is it?
I guess that's what they're saying from Scrims. I could be wrong, but I thought I heard that.
I think my favorite hardpoint map out of all of these, if I had to choose at this very moment, would be I think it'd be Colossus.
I like Colossus a lot to
Ooh.
bang out.
Yeah.
I think
Red's back. It seems
if you
like
guys can hear me.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I think my favorite hardpoint map by far right now is Scar, the one with like where P1's mixing, and then and then there's that plane on the left side of
Yeah.
the map if you spawn. I
Good
think
Scar.
that's my favorite one so far. I love getting mixing P1, even though the VOD review did not look great last night. I'm honestly, like you said, I'm glad Raid isn't in there to begin with, just because I mean we've played it so many times, and I've been seeing all over Twitter saying like, why is Raid not in there? Why is Raid not in there? But like, I mean, it's a new game. If we wanted to play Raid like all the time, it's got to be because the maps are just garbage. And
Mhm.
honestly, they have made really good original maps for what feels like for the first time in forever. So
Yeah.
it's exciting to play new stuff, and like yes, Raid is fun, but I mean I've been getting dunked on it, Nate, so I'm perfectly okay with it being
The-
out.
This is the best set of launch maps, original launch maps in the game I can remember since Black Ops 4. I specifically clarify launch maps because the post game, like post launch content in MW3, there were some awesome maps. 6-star, Vista, Rio, like
Game.
those were some awesome maps, but they weren't launch maps. That's why I clarify like launch maps. These are like the best I can remember in quite some time. Um, and we'll talk about the other maps that are coming in. Like Standoff is confirmed to be coming in. Meltdown, Fringe. I have a lot more tendency to want to put those in because we haven't really seen Standoff in a lot of games. Like came in
Yeah.
for a little bit there in Cold War, but it didn't really play well, so it was never really played. Meltdown we haven't seen in competitive since BO2, so I'm way more inclined to
It's a
see.
long time ago.
Yeah, I'm way more inclined to want to see that one played again because it hasn't been played since 2012. Um,
Mhm.
and then same thing with Fringe. It was only played once. It was in the game last year. They didn't play it obviously. And Fringe with wall bouncing could be interesting because like you could actually wall bounce in the trains area and it could get a lot more interesting. But like curious to see how Fringe played. But I'm more inclined to want to see those maps played because of the fact that like they haven't been played as much as Raid. Like we've seen Raid in for 2 full seasons of competitive and it was played all the time. Like I'm more inclined to want to see it because of that. And with that said,
Yeah.
Raid is in our rotation for S&D. Our S&D maps are Colossus, Den, Exposure, Scar. So it's 4 of the same maps as Hardpoint, but then take out Blackheart and put in Raid for S&D. Again, we've played S&D on Raid, um, Den, and Colossus. I think all 3 of them play pretty well.
Yeah.
Haven't played it on Exposure or Scar, but I love Scar specifically. I love that map, so I'm thinking it could play pretty well there.
Probably good.
Yeah.
And I think it played okay, in the tournament and stuff. But like, I love Den and Colossus, and the thing I've noticed so far, and I don't know it's early in the game, but it seems like the maps in S&D are a little more balanced than they've been. It felt like you could come up with strats to go to both sites on the maps that we were playing. Whereas,
Yeah.
like in a lot of recent CODs, it's basically been like you got to head bash one site because the other site's like unbreakable. You can't get to it. And S&D is way more fun when you actually have to spread the map and play both sites and not just stack one site and just throw a guy mid who can rotate if they decide to somehow go to that other site. Like I think the search maps are really good.
On
Agreed.
on Den, I think it's Den, right? Yeah, Den. Where a bomb is in that like room close to
Yeah.
defense spawn. First thing that kind of reminds me of like the what is that, the snow map in BO3, Stronghold. I think it's Stronghold. No,
I think you're thinking of Infection.
Infection.
Infection?
Yeah,
I think you're
Infection.
thinking
It
of
kind of
Infection.
reminds me of like right in front of that like shack area. So I kind of got like some warm vibes from that. But I also think like since it's so close to the defensive side, do you think they can move a bomb to that middle area, like in between the 2 wall bounds?
On the
Or would
rooftop
that
would
be
be
too
kind of
mixy?
tough.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like kind of has to be in that room, but it's still. I mean, we might play some more eights. I can't reveal strategies, but there's definitely a good way to get into that room and lay the rock. I did it a couple times. There, you can go to both sides. I would say the other side's probably preferred, but like I don't think it's a bad thing to have a preferred site in S&D. I just hate when there's like you basically can't go to one site situation. Like, 'cause it makes the
Yeah.
map so one dimensional. At that point, you're just playing TDM and who gets the right angle. Is like I want to be able to like shoot across, throw a stun, make you think I'm going to a site, like early rotate out mid, but then I'm actually laying down below that hop up mid and somebody hops over me, I get a kill, hop up, plant. Like I want to be able to I want to
That
be able to
happened a couple times.
yeah, I want to be able to do that strat. Like I want to be able to actually like rotate back and forth between sites and like I want to be able to be like, hey, this round we're gonna do this strat, we're gonna hit B, this round we're gonna do this strat, hit A, like without it being crazy of like, wait, you guys are hitting B this round? Like nobody ever hits B. Like that's how a lot of the
Yeah.
games have been recently. Like
Mhm.
also, I like it more because we're pretty good at SD when we play ranked, and like it's way easier to just beat bad people at SD. Like people that aren't good at SD, it's way easier to beat them when it's actually takes strategy and it's not just a headbutt one site. Like
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Overload is Den, Exposure, and Scar. Hard for me to talk too much about that because like Overload's rules are probably going to change so much. So I don't really have too much of an opinion, positive or negative. Overload, I think the rules got to change a lot, and I think they will. So it's like I don't know. We'll see when we see like how well those maps play.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Um,
It was fun to watch though.
yeah, there's a lot of potential there. There definitely needs to be a lot of changes though.
Mhm.
Express S and D is not in. I I hate Express S and D, so I'm so glad to see that. I'm
Me
not even
too.
not even for like like it's an old map and I don't want to see it played, but we have seen it played a good amount. Just the fact that I hate the map. I think Express sucks. I've always thought the map sucks. I think it sucks for S and D. I don't want to see it. I'm so glad it's out. That map is terrible.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of that map as well.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so season 1 is dropping on December 4th, and the main thing I want to talk about is the maps coming out. We've got Fringe, Standoff, and Meltdown. Obviously, comp potential all over the place if they do want to switch maps in and out throughout the year. We obviously know Fringe still a little
Please
bit iffy
put
because
'em
there's
in.
no jetpacks and wall running, but it's my favorite map. BO3 Fringe is like my favorite map. Standoff is viewed with Raid as like the holy grail of competitive COD maps. It's like
Yeah.
1 and 2 with Raid. And then Meltdown is the one I'm maybe most excited for just because we haven't seen it in so long, and it's a really good S&D map.
Mhm.
So that could be in for S&D. And then there's a new map called Fate, which when I saw the picture of it, looked kind of like tropical vibes. I don't know anything about the map. I have no idea if it has any comp potential or anything, but it's a new 6v6 map. And there's Utopia, a new 6v6 map, which gives the vibes of 6-star, but squished into a little skinny row. That map, the overhead view looks like it could be a really good comp map, but just the fact that it seems way too skinny, it might not be viable. We'll have to see. And there's 2
Yeah.
gunfight maps. And then there's a redacted map that has yet to be announced. I think it might be Arsenal. I hope it is. Throw Arsenal in the map pool right
Please.
away. Like
I need that map back.
those are the one maps I will accept that we put in the game for like old maps. Give me all the BO4 maps.
Mhm.
Also, I know they want it for veto purposes to have like 5-5-3 because like in Overload each team vetoes one, you play the third. Like in Hardpoint, they each veto one. There's one picked, another one picked, and like one is left out. Kind of same thing with Search and Destroy. Um, Enough. Add in these maps. Make it 9 Hardpoint maps. I mean, it makes it hell for scrims is the thing. Like they have to scrim so many maps, but like add in 2 more maps. Make it 7 hardpoint maps. Make it 7 S&D maps. Keep it at 3 or 4 overload maps, whatever works. Like add these maps in. You don't have to take it out. You don't have to always make the map pool so small. But like, I'm excited to see what the random map is. And then there was a leak for season 2. Apparently, there could be obviously more maps, but Yemen, Plaza, and Slums rumored to come out during season 2. Which again, Plaza Hardpoint was competitive map for a little bit in BO2. Not my favorite. I know Brock not his favorite. I don't think Brad
Yeah.
ever really played that. It's kind of a mid map. I don't know. It's okay. It's not really anything special. Yemen Hardpoint,
Yeah.
obviously. Scump clip.
Mhm.
I actually am not a huge fan of Yemen Hardpoint. I could leave it. There's a
Yeah.
couple like hills
Yemen
that are
Hardpoint is
it's
rotate
okay to me.
heavy.
It's if you're not rotating, you're not winning on that map.
Yeah.
And then slums. kind of the same thing in a way for slums. Like, there's a
Okay,
couple hills in
same.
that map that you're not rotating early, you're not winning. Like,
Yeah.
but again, a lot of competitive options if stuff isn't working. Like, those are a lot of maps that
Mhm.
can be played competitively in one game mode or another.
They need to bring back frequency for the wall with the wall bouncing.
Kind of did. Blackheart. It's a little bit of frequency vibes there. If you actually look at the layouts, like side by side, it's basically frequency, but without the like elevation.
I
Kind of
can see
funny.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Got the tier list on the screen. We're gonna rank the maps. The tier list I pulled up, I don't know why it has like the 20v20 maps and stuff in it.
Let's
Obviously,
rank those.
not gonna rank those. It has this paranoia map, which I'm assuming is a
It's a 2v2
yeah,
map.
it's a 2v2 because and then like Odysseus is I'm assuming a 2v2 map as well.
Never heard of it.
Because and Utopia is one of the new ones coming out. There's some maps in here that for some reason they have and they're not even in. So it's obviously tough how to rank these. Like a map like Nuketown is on here. I'm like we obviously can't rank that competitively. So like we can keep competitive in mind, but also if it's a pubs map, kind of how good of a pubs map it is. It's not like a super serious list kind of scuffed. So like if it has good
Mhm.
competitive potential, you can obviously make that rank it higher. If it's just a good pubs map, you can rank it higher. I'm just gonna throw Nuketown in S unless there's any debate, just because it deserves to be up there. It's the greatest pubs map of all time. I'll never take any slander for Nuketown.
No disagreement here.
We could probably,
It has, but
yeah.
might be another map I might like more.
Yeah. I know. Brock wants to say
Dope.
W3. Yeah.
Original.
I knew it.
W3.
Nuketown is. I feel like Nuketown is. Is it the most iconic map in COD history? I feel like it is.
I feel like it might, yeah.
Probably. I will
Especially
say
for like the newer players.
Well, in terms, yeah. Well, in terms of just like if you ask anybody, like I think the only maps that could compete would be like some classic like OG MW2s, like Terminal. I feel like is one of the other like all time classic maps.
Yep.
Like that map is always just talked about. Like everybody always talks about like Terminal quick scoping.
Terminal.
Like that's like Terminal's got to be. And like, you always see that picture of the loading screen with the plane. Like
Yep.
Terminal is like one of the most iconic maps. Rust, I feel like, is up there for
Ooh.
MW2. Like OG Rust, 1v1 me on Rust. Like that's like the OG meme. So that's up there. But Nuketown is one of the most iconic maps. Like if you ask people about like their time playing COD, like they remember the Nuketown 24/7 weekends coming home from school. Like it's the best pubs map of all time. Shout out to Nuketown for the camo grind. First map though that they have randomly listed here is Homestead. Obviously, competitive wise, it is a nightmare. It would be a terrible competitive map. It's so open,
Yeah.
and like it's so big. Homestead
One
for
big
the
house in the
look,
middle.
yeah, one big house like a state.
Mhm.
Homestead for the vibes is S tier, but I think it's a pretty below average map to be honest. I think it's like a C or a D tier map.
I will
Yeah.
not take D.
Pause.
It's got to be C at the worst. Oh, okay, yeah, good point.
Hey yo.
I really enjoy playing that map in pubs. So like, I mean, obviously it's not great as far as like it's really open. It's not great, but like
I feel
it's
like
so vibey.
I
It's
feel
so
like if that
vibey.
map turned into daytime and it was a cloudy sky, you'd say it was F tier.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think the only thing that carries this map is the vibe because I think the map itself is actually like not that great. That's why I want to put it in D tier. Because
Yeah.
just act like there was no Northern Lights. That you would say this map is terrible and you would back out when you saw it. Look at his face. He knows it's true. I mean, it is majority. I'm saying D tier. Brad's saying C.
Brock. Yeah.
Say D tier.
Let's go, Brock. It's just not
Damn
that
you,
good of a
Brock.
map. I love the vibe. I agree with you. The vibe is elite. It's an elite vibes map. It might be the best vibes map in the game. Love the look of it, but like competitive, there is no competitive viability. It's so open. Like that right side of the map is just an open field of ice. Like snow. I don't know. It's just
Literally.
it's elite vibes, not the best map. Kind of like Miami
Yeah.
in a way. Miami had like elite vibes, but it was just
Yeah,
a terrible
It
map.
did.
Just a
It
terrible
was
map.
so big and got
and I
open.
did, and
open
I did
set
enjoy
beach.
playing Miami as
Yeah,
well.
exactly. You were there for the vibes. All right, we got Scar next. I love Scar.
How many maps are we thinking like can realistically go into S? Because like
I mean, like it's so
in
weird
my head
because
this
like
is an S.
Scar is like I think as a pubs map, I feel like as a pubs map, it's more of a B or a C. I think as a competitive map, it's more of an A. And the competitive maps I want to rank a little bit more on a competitive scale. I would give Scar an A.
Okay.
I don't think it can hit an S tier. I'd give Scar an A.
Okay. No, I'll give it an A too.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I just
Yeah,
don't. I don't
you're not
know.
wrong. Like pubs wise, it's like it's kind of average.
Yeah, there are certain maps that have been like that though. Like I don't know off the top of my head, like one I would like I don't know. I feel like Infection in BO3 was a very mid map for pubs, but like for like uplink and for search, it played like awesome. I loved it. I don't know. There are a
Okay.
lot of maps like that. Like they might be mid for pubs, but like the way they're laid out is just awesome. I feel like Scar is one of those maps. Like
Yeah.
pubs, meh, but like competitive, it's an awesome map.
Yeah.
I think it might be the best
Kind of
competitive map.
like checkmate, right?
No, I hate that map. Um, our next map's kind of a vibes map. Toshin. I think it's kind of a mid
F.
map.
Ooh,
I don't know. So I think it's better than Homestead, but it's not good.
It's so
average
bad.
I think
at
it's C.
best.
So bad.
I think it's C.
I love the colors of it, but
Yeah,
about
I
it.
think it's C or D. I'll vote C.
I feel like it plays so bad.
I don't think it plays. I mean, I don't think it plays amazing. It's certainly better than it was in the beta. It's way improved from the beta. The changes they made to the map made like that upper part more accessible. It definitely improved the map.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think it's
That
the.
left.
I think it's better than Homestead. Like if you were to tell me they threw that in the rotation for Hardpoint, I'd be like, okay. If they threw Homestead in, I'd riot.
That left side of the map by like the train area lights where no one ever goes that way.
Yeah.
like the upstairs like train station you're saying?
Yeah.
I'm okay with. I'm gonna vote for C, but like if you guys both vote D, I'm okay with that. It can't go below Homestead. There's no way it's a tier below Homestead.
I would say C.
Brad, you got overruled. Brad voted for D, right?
Yeah.
You got overruled. C. I don't know. I do think it's better than Homestead. I'd be okay with it in D tier, but the next map I don't like at all. I think people do like this map, the Forge. I hate this map.
Forge.
I actually
Why
back out
can't
usually when I
you
see
say
it.
it?
It's in the beta. It's the one with the spinning circle in the middle.
Oh yeah, I don't really care for this map.
It's the one of the few maps that has the doors. I don't like this map. I vote for D tier with Homestead for this map.
I think I like Homestead better.
Yeah, so
I get
would
it
you say
too.
D tier too, or would you say F? F just on here
I'd
because
say-
like it was just thrown on here. I don't really know if I plan on putting anything in F.
Oh,
I would
yeah.
say D.
Yeah, I'd say D as well.
Okay, I'll put it below
I
Homestead.
had to look at a picture of it.
Well, again, like compared to some of the maps they've released in the previous titles, it might, if we were comparing it to some of those other titles, it might be like a C tier map. But like,
Yeah.
in terms of this title where we actually have good maps and we can be picky, this map's not very good.
I guess it depends who you ask too.
Yeah.
If it's good map or not.
A flagship is the next one. Again, this one probably too small to be competitively viable. But in terms of a pubs map, I feel like flagship is a really elite map for pubs. It's small, a lot of
Mhm.
engagements. Like I really like it for that. I feel like it's like a B tier map because we're
That's what I was
obviously
thinking. B.
talking pubs. It's not amazing. It's not terrible. I feel like it's a
Down.
good pubs map. No competitive viability, so it's hard to rank it in that. It's kind of an NA
Mhm.
in that category.
Yeah.
I get B tier. Oh, our next map is Exposure. I feel like this is kind of that same line as Scar in a way where I don't think it's a very good pubs map, but I think it can be a really good competitive map. But I think it's a step below Scar, so I would vote B tier for Exposure. I think Exposure is one of those maps where like I think it could be C tier for pubs, and I think it could be A tier for comp as the year goes on. I think we could see it's a really good comp map. That's why I kind of lean towards B.
I was thinking like bottom of A kind of thing, but I'm not. I wouldn't be mad at like a high B kind of thing either, because I do think I think it has the potential to be insanely good in
Yeah.
comp. But I like honestly like as a pubs map, I put it more like the B tier. I think it's like, I think it's playable. I think it's fine. I think it's just average.
I like it in B tier above flagship just because it's a competitive map.
Mhm.
Rock, what do you think?
I like this map actually.
I think it's really good competitively. Again, if this was strictly a competitive tier list and we took out the other things, I think this could be A. I'm factoring. It's weird because we're doing some pubs maps, we're doing some competitive maps. I don't know. I just think overall as a map, I feel like it's B tier.
Yeah, let's go a high B.
Yeah.
Yeah, with you, bro.
Again, I do think it can. I think it can move up if we're talking strict competitive.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Our next map is Raid. This is such a weird one to rank. I don't even really like want to rank it.
Just put it up with S with
Yeah,
Nuketown.
just put it up in S with Nuketown just out of respect. But like in this game, I don't know. Like the spawns are weird, but it just like in
Yeah.
terms of actually like if we're talking strictly map design. Like Raid is still like chef's kiss. Like I love when we were playing eights. The people that didn't play any of the games that took actual brain power, uh, and you had to rotate and hold. Basically, the people that play new gen games like Brock's brother are like, this map sucks because you like get just full 60'd, but it's like
Yeah.
that's kind of how Hardpoint was originally played. Like if I rotate, I set up, like I win the rotation, I get the kills in the spawn, like I hold a full 60 and it's a tough break for you. And like I
Yep.
understand if you're used to like the bang out maps, how like you maybe don't like that, but that's how Hardpoint was originally played. It's like it actually took a lot. That's why like you hear a lot of the old pros be like, the games nowadays just aren't as good because like you can not rotate. You can
You don't
set
get
up
punished.
you can have a horrible setup and like in the first 10 seconds of the hill you can break it. We're on raid like basketball and like Lambo garage. Like you don't rotate to those early and the team gets a good setup on you. It's full 60 waiting to happen. And that's why like I don't know. The spawns are messed up, but raid is and forever will be like kind of the pinnacle of comp maps.
Yeah. Not
Um
wrong.
Blackheart is interesting. What do you guys think about Blackheart? I mean, I think it's one of the best pub maps in the game. It's small. It's like a lot of engagements. It's good for camo grinding, and I think it's going to be a bang out comp. I think this is you guys. Brad's making a confused face. I think Brad by the end of the year is going to be like, "This is the best comp map because it's just going to be bow cage, head bash." I think it's
Nothing will
basically a
ever
map
be
behind
bow
Scar.
cage.
I think it's a behind
You
Scar.
think so?
Yeah, I think it's got a combination of it's a better pubs
Okay.
map than a majority of these because
Yeah.
it's small. And also, I
Yeah.
think it's going to play. I don't think. I think it's going to be like a bow cage in a way that, like, objectively, it's probably not really that good of a comp map. But like in terms of how much fun I had playing it, it's probably going to be like, yeah, that was a fun ass map because like bow cage was that way. It was kind of. It probably really wasn't that good of a map, overall, but it was fun to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, to me, like, obviously, maybe I just don't know the map well enough yet. I just feel like from day one, Bocage had such a good flow. And I guess, like, for me personally, I'm struggling to find, like, a good flow in Blackheart, and maybe that's why it's lower for me. I do think it has the potential to be a good map, and like you said, I think it'll be a lot of fun to play, a lot of fun to watch. But for me, like, right now, I have it, like, at middle of the road B.
Yeah, Brock, did you vote B or A?
I able to A.
Yeah, so
I like that map.
we'll put it at bottom of A, but I think it's one of the rare combinations of just like really good for both. Like it's an elite
Yeah.
pubs map just because of the size. Anytime you get a really small map, it usually is going to end up being a better pubs map because like when you're playing pubs, at least for me, like I'm just trying to rip engagements, like shoot my gun. So like I think Blackheart's a good map. Our next map is F tier Express, bro. Get the thing in F tier. I hate that map. It's the most overrated map in COD history. People love it. It's not even a good map.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of it.
I only have one good
Never
memory on
was.
Express, and I was playing like league play with my cousin and like two of my friends way back in the day, and we like ripped off 3 straight caps on CTF to like finish our qualifier matches, and we got placed in plat. And we thought it was like the best rank ever. We didn't know anything about rank. And that's like the only good memory I have in Express. Everything else, I hate that map. I'm throwing an F tier for the memes, but I actually like genuinely don't like that map. I would probably like I don't when I load into it in pubs, I'm not excited to play it. Like if I loaded into it in like Cold War ranked or BO2 ranked to play search, I wasn't excited to play it. Like
It is not that good.
I don't like it at all. I'm throwing an F tier for the memes. Den. I love Den.
Ooh.
What do
A.
you-
A.
A.
I don't know. I didn't really like this map for some reason.
I love the vibes. I'm all in on A.
I'm all in on A, and I think if, like, I don't know how many times we have to say this, but if they punch a hole in that wall, I think this is easily an S tier map.
Yeah, I think it's the
But
best map in the
yeah,
game
I
if there's a
think
hole in
A.
the wall.
You got Scar in the game, man.
I think it's better than Scar if there's a hole in the wall. Because it's a good combination of it's a little smaller. So I like the fact that it's just a little bit smaller. It's a little bit more of a bang out, and it's just it's already a really good map.
Yeah.
Like
It kind of reminds me of like Gridlock.
Yeah, that's kind of what I always think. The vibes and everything. It reminds me. The map necessarily isn't like super similar, but like the vibes remind me of Gridlock when I play it.
Yeah. Yep.
So I put that one in A. Retrieval U. That's a D tier map to me.
Retrieval. I don't know.
Icy
Oh, is that
map.
the one
It
with
has
like
like
the
no structure. It's like
plane,
a I don't know. It's like doesn't feel
Oh,
free
is
lane.
that the is that like the
plane in the
big
middle? I
map?
think.
There's like a
Yeah,
plane on the side, and the plane
I
like there's
hate
like
that
a
map.
yeah. I think it's D tier. I think it's right next to the Forge in D tier.
Yeah, that map sucks for pubs.
It wouldn't be good competitively there. I don't think.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I'm putting that one in D tier. I think Brad kind of likes that map though.
I do kind of like that map.
You
I
like
don't care
that and
about it. It
Homestead. This
sucks.
you should take this as a sign, Brad. Your two favorite maps are not favorite, but the two maps
They're not my favorite.
the two maps you're advocating for, we put in D tier.
I still think Homestead is an S tier map.
No. Cortex is in the beta. It's pretty
Yeah,
small. I feel like I'm lower on Cortex than the general community. I think Cortex is like a C tier map. I'd put it like above Toshin and C, maybe low B. It's not the worst map, and I don't hate it, but I don't know. It's just not. It's smaller, but I don't know something about it. There's so many headies on that side of the map. I don't know. It's just a weird map. It's like 3 lane, but it's also not because the 1 lane is just like a tiny strip of like balcony on the outside of the map.
right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's like top of C or low B. I'll let
C.
you guys choose.
What do you
I
think,
think let's go
Brad?
top C. C area.
I
It's
I was really high on. I actually really like this map in the beta, and I
Yeah.
think as I've played more of the maps, more of the other maps, and a little bit more of that one, I think it's gone downhill. Like I don't think it's as good as a lot of the other ones. So I like if I was saying it in the beta, like I'd say it's like a high B, I think. But like now, I'd say I'd agree with C.
So that makes the tier list look a little better too. Makes it a little more even. The next map's another map that I think is an overrated classic. Hijacked. I just don't think Hijack's that good. Somebody gets in the top balcony, they're spawn killing you. Like if you play hardpoint, the lower hill is just so awkward. It's just two ladders they can just farm you on. I don't enjoy playing Hijack. I think Hijack's like a C tier map. I don't enjoy playing. I never have enjoyed Hijack that much. I don't know. Maybe you guys enjoy it. I don't like it.
Not really.
I don't know. I was really bad when I played it first time around.
Yeah. I just remember sitting in the bottom with a
Yeah.
shotgun in ranked play.
Yeah.
That was the strat. You just sat by the ladder, and if they
It
dropped on
was.
with a Remington, you just one shot them.
You're not wrong.
Flashbacks to the Brecky.
I'm voting C tier. What do you guys voting?
Let's do
I would
it.
go with C. Yeah.
It's such a mid map. I don't like it. The next map though, not mid. Colossus. I like Colossus in A personally. I think this map I
A.
really like for competitive for a
Uh,
hardpoint search. I think it's got potential to be our best hardpoint map to start the year, and I think it's got potential to be a really good search map. I like it in A.
A.
Yeah. I think if we didn't put because I think Scar and Den are better than it. So if I think we got to put it behind those two.
Okay. Then I think we only have one map left because the other maps on here are Utopia, Odysseus, Fate, the 20v20 maps, Standoff, Meltdown, a couple gunfight maps, and Fringe. So yeah, like I think that the only map we have left is Imprint, which is another snowy map. This one was in the beta. It's the one with a moving cart that can go like up and down on P1.
Oh,
Like
that one.
it's
Oh,
I don't know. I
yeah.
feel like it's like a C tier map. It's not the
Yeah.
worst map, but it's
Mhm.
not great. I would put it like
C.
right in the middle of C tier.
I
I
like the
think
snowy weather.
I like the snow
Yeah.
vibes. I like snowy maps, but unfortunately, this both snowy maps in this game were kind of a miss.
Yeah, ain't no summit, that's for sure.
Yeah, no summit. What a good map.
I think if they I don't know how they do it, but I think if they somehow like made it easier to go from mid down to like where that P1 goes down, I
Yeah,
think it could be a lot better map, but the way it is right now, I agree. I think it's a C map.
yeah. I think it could be better. Yeah, if that was a little more connected, it was a little easier to get there. I
Mhm.
don't know. It's not the worst map ever. Like that's well, I mean that's why it's in C tier. It's not the worst map ever. It's just not great.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's all the maps. Then we have a pretty good spread. Couple S tiers: Nuketown and Raid, 4A, 2B, 4C, 3 and D, and then Express where it belongs down at the bottom. Just seeing the maps that are yet to come down here, like that Utopia map seems like it has potential, and then like Fate, who knows what that map's gonna look like. But then like just seeing Standoff, Meltdown, and Fringe down here as well, and knowing we also have Yemen, Slums, Plaza, potentially Arsenal, a bunch more original maps. Like gonna be a lot of maps in this game that I'm really excited to play.
Mhm.
But I don't know how you guys feel. Maybe you feel differently, but I do feel like this is the most optimism I've had for a set of like original maps for comp in quite some time. I mean, like if you look at our list here, obviously it's probably because we played them more and we are thinking of them more from a competitive lens. But like if you do look at our list here, Scar, Den, Colossus, and Blackheart, which are all maps in the rotation. We have them all in A. Exposure is a map in the rotation. We have that one in B. And then every other raid we have in S. So every map that's in the comp rotation, we have majority in A, one in S, and one in B. Like
Mm.
that's a good spot where if you were to look at the last few years, like there were a lot of maps that it was like, what do we throw in? There isn't a lot to choose from. This year, I feel
Yeah.
like we have some really, really good maps, and like we cut out raid hardpoint. Like we cut out raid hardpoint. That shows that we have some faith in these maps, even though the raid spawns were kind of messed up. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel really good. I'm enjoying going for the camo grind in this game. I think the maps are pretty good. I'm really looking forward to this year, and I'm really looking forward to the potential rotation of maps in and out.
Looking forward to ranked.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
really
me
looking forward
too.
to rank. Unfortunately, what is it going to come up? Season two. It
I think
might
you
it
said.
might come out in like
Yeah.
January or February, like it used to always.
Yeah.
Probably not that late, but
Also excited for the Maddox to return in Black Ops 7.
Yeah,
I am not. I
season
hate
one.
that gun.
Maddox bringing the meta, and Brock's back.
Yeah. I'm back. That's it.
All right, Onk, chill.
Brock's
Hey.
back. Brock's back. If the Maddox is in. All right. You got anything else for a wrap up?
Nope.
All right. That's going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. If you're on the audio platforms, drop a follow, drop a 5-star review. Next week, it's prediction time. Brock is going to be gone on vacation, so we'll just get Brock's predictions written down. We'll just have to make sure Brock saves him before he leaves so he can keep his points. I forget to
You're not
save him
wrong.
sometimes.
I swear last year it glitched out half the
Yeah,
time
I think it
anyways.
did too. I swear I would click save and then to be like, you got 0 points, and I was like, okay, it just didn't save my picks.
Yeah.
But we'll have Brock give us his picks before he leaves, and then we'll do our picks next week. That's gonna do it for this one. Yeah, I can't believe it's time to make our picks, but next weekend,
I'm
not
excited.
this coming weekend, but the weekend after. After Thanksgiving weekend, we've got our first matches on deck. So excited to watch those. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.